Hey guys, it's Sophie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a back to school makeup routine. It's going to be all drugstore or affordable, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be really affordable makeup and it's just going to be really natural for going back to school. So if your school has a no makeup rule or you're not allowed to wear too much makeup, then this video will be really good, or you guys just don't want to wear heaps of makeup to school. And also this is going to be a really quick, really easy makeup tutorial for you guys. So let's just get on into the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing, I'm just going to be tying up my hair so makeup doesn't get all in my face and stuff like that. Okay, so now that my hair's all tied up, what I'm going to be doing first is using primer, and I'm using this e.l.f. Brightening Lavender Facial Primer, and I've been using this for a while and I really love it. It's really helped to clear up my skin and it's really hydrating for you guys if you have dry skin or just combination skin like I do. So I'm just going to be squirting this onto my hand and rubbing it all over my face. And this will really just help the makeup to stay in place, and also it will help protect your skin from all the makeup so it doesn't damage your skin and make you break out or anything like that. Now that we've done the primer, I'm going to move on to concealer, and I'm going to be skipping foundation just because personally I don't like to wear foundation to school. I feel like it's too heavy, but you guys could either wear foundation if you want to or a BB cream or something like that, but I just personally like to go straight to concealer because it's a bit lighter and it's just less makeup. Okay, so the concealer I'm going to be using is the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and this is in the shade C5 in case you're wondering, because in case your skin tone is similar to mine or something like that. And this is hands down the best concealer I've ever tried. I've tried quite a few concealers and I've hated them all just because they've been way too cakey and they just haven't looked natural at all. And yeah, this one is just, it just blends out, like literally looks like your natural skin. It has medium to buildable coverage, so you can build it to full coverage if you want to, and it's just so amazing. So I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to be using a beauty blender. This is from Kmart. It was $2, so you guys can probably go to somewhere like the dollar store, Kmart, or wherever, whatever you have in your country, and find a cheap beauty blender that works really well. So I'm just going to be spraying it with a bit of facial toner just to get it a bit wet so it doesn't just absorb all the product. And I'm going to be taking my concealer and I'm going to be placing this in between my eyebrows, just a little bit here, and also tiny bits, just dotting it all over my chin really. And I'm not going to be putting it under my eyes. You guys can if you want to, but I just feel like I don't need to cover anything under my eyes. So yeah, I'll just be putting it on my chin and in between my eyebrows just to give myself a bit of a brightening and just to give myself a bit of coverage, because I do have some scars from pimples all over my chin, so I like to cover that up. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend this out, and I'm going to make sure I blend it really well so that it looks really natural and it just looks like my normal skin. And I'm just going to be taking it from my eyebrows. If there's a little bit too much, because this concealer does go a long way, I'm going to be taking it just down my nose and my nose a little bit, just to spread out the concealer a bit more and also give me a little bit of coverage on my nose. Okay, so now that I've blended in this concealer, it literally looks so natural. That's why I recommend this one. You guys, it's literally so cheap. I think it's like £3 or £4 in the UK, and it's like $10 here in New Zealand. You can get it from Farmers, and I'm sure you can get it all over the world because the Revolution Beauty website does ship worldwide, I believe. So I'd really recommend this. It's super affordable. It comes in a really small thing, but a little bit does go a long way, so I'd really recommend this. It just looks so natural. This video is obviously not sponsored because hello, I have like 20 something subscribers, but yeah, I recommend this one for you guys. So now what we're going to be moving on to is a bit of facial powder just to set that concealer in place, and what I have is the Essence Mattifying Compact Powder, and this one is so cheap. I know, I don't know, I got it online from in New Zealand. I don't know how expensive it is or anything, but I know that the brand Essence is really cheap, and this powder, it works pretty well, like it's fine. And it sets stuff in place, and this one is a tiny bit too dark for me, but it's the summer so I am getting more tanned. And I'm just going to be taking a flat brush like this, and this brush set is off Amazon. It came with a whole load of brushes. It was super cheap and they're super good quality and soft, and they work really well. So I'm just going to be taking a little bit on this and tapping off the excess, and just placing this on my chin and between my eyebrows, basically just where I put the concealer, just to set it in place. I'm going to be sort of patting it on and then brushing it to remove the excess. If there's a little bit left over on my brush, I'll just sort of pat it all over the rest of my face just to use it up like this, just lightly. Okay, so now I'm going to be moving on to is bronzer, because I like to just look a little bit bronzed, especially in the summertime for school. It's super natural, the bronzer that I have. The bronzer that I'm going to be using is the Physicians Formula Nude Wear Bronzer, and it has a little shimmery thing, and then it has 3 shades right here. So you can mix them, you can use the shimmer if you want to, or you can just have it as a matte bronzer. I personally like to have it more as a matte bronzer, but I will mix a bit of shimmer in if I'm feeling a little bit dry that day, or if I want to feel more glowy. So I'm just going to be taking this. I know this is super affordable. It's probably one of a little bit more of the expensive drugstore. It's not super cheap, but it's still drugstore and it's still pretty affordable. So I really recommend this. And it also has a mirror and a little brush that fell out on the other side. Tapping into these 3 matte shades right here and just getting a lot on my brush because this is quite a light bronzer, and just putting it on my cheekbones like this, not trying to contour, just trying to bronze up my cheekbones, and then taking it around up my forehead right here, then doing the other side, just blending this pretty lightly and not trying to put it under my cheekbones, otherwise it will be a contour and it will look really bad. I've tried that before, guys. Just taking a little bit more, putting it on my cheekbones, just building it up until I'm happy with it. Hey guys, so now I'm happy with the bronzer. I'm going to be moving on to blush, and what I'm using for blush is I have this palette right here by the brand Sunkissed. It's a fake tan brand, but it also has a few things of makeup, and this is the Carnival Crush cheek palette. It's super cheap. I believe it's like 10 New Zealand dollars, so it will be really cheap in other countries too. You can probably find this online or maybe in stores, I'm not sure, but I got mine online. And it has 3 blush shades in here, a matte one and then 2 shimmers. So I'm just going to be taking a mix of this shimmer down here and then also the matte shade. And what I'm going to be doing is just patting it on my cheeks just to get a more precise bit of where I want the blush. And I feel like it just gives you a little bit of a glow, and it just gives you a really natural flush that makes you look really healthy. And what I've been doing recently is putting a tiny bit on my nose, just the excess, just to make my face look a bit more natural and my nose look a bit more glowy. Okay, so now guys, we're moving on to highlight. You don't have to wear this if you don't want to for school. And with all of this makeup, you guys can choose if you don't want to wear makeup. If you do, you can choose a few steps if you don't want to do everything. So what I'm using for highlighter is this e.l.f. highlighter in Moonlight Pearls. It's really faded. The packaging is all broken, but I really like it. And I'm also using this Colourpop F5 highlighter brush, and I just got this recently, and I think it's a really good highlighter brush. It's a really good shape for my face, and it just puts the highlighter on really nicely. So I'm just going to be taking a little bit, tapping off the excess. Whoa. And then I'm just going to be putting this on the top of my cheekbones, and I did tap off most of it because I just want a little bit and I don't want it too blinding for school. I just want it to be more natural and a bit more glowy than super blinding highlight. Then I'm going to be taking a little bit on my nose and also up my nose, my cupid's bow, and under my brows. Now for eyebrows, I'm going to be taking this Morphe eyeshadow palette. I thought I would include this since it's not technically drugstore, but it's sort of in between drugstore and high end. I believe this was like 30 New Zealand dollars for this eyeshadow palette. It's really pretty. It has a big mirror, so I thought it still was quite affordable, and I'm using this for my brows. So I'm just taking a small flat brush right here, the shade Sweet and Dessert, just a mix of both of them, and just putting a little bit on my brush and then tapping off the excess for my brows, because for school I feel like if you want to look more natural, you don't need any brow product or much brow product at all. So I just like to do a little bit and just stroke it sort of through my brows just a little bit, just in like the really sparse areas, and just having a tiny bit of colour there really helps. And then I also like to brush the hairs up like this at the start just to make my brows look a bit more full and nice. So So these are the brows done. That was really quick. Now I'm just moving on to eyeshadow, and you guys can completely skip this step if you want, but I'm just going to be showing you guys a super natural look. Just a little bit like you can't even notice that you have eyeshadow on. It just looks like you have really nice eyelids. And it's really natural, and what I'm going to be using is the Revolution Reloaded Neutrals 2 palette, and it comes with quite a lot of just peachy tones and light shimmers, like a few really natural shades that I like to use for school on my eyelids because I just like it to look really natural. So I'm going to be dipping first into this shade just a tiny bit. It looks sort of brown on camera, but it's actually a really light pink. And it's really pretty, and I'm just going to be dipping into this the tiniest bit, then tapping off the excess all over my brush because this shade is so pigmented and I don't want it to be. I'm just using my Morphe palette as a mirror so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm just going to blend this shade into the crease really lightly, not taking it up high at all, just in the really lower crease. Okay, so now that I have the shade on, sorry about the lighting guys, I have the shade on, it looks super natural in the crease, and I'm only going to be using 2 or 3 colours for this look because I just want it to look really natural. And next I'm going to be taking the fluffy brush still and going on with the shimmer. Usually with shimmers I like to take a flat brush and wet it just to get the full pigment out, but I don't want these to be super foil because I want it to look really natural. So I'm just taking the same brush, dipping it into this really light pink shade, and just going to be putting this all over my eyelid. Sort of just stamping it on and then swiping a little bit to spread the colour all over the lid. Okay, so now that this colour's all over the lid, it's looking super natural, super pretty. I'm just going to be getting a tiny little flat brush, and I'm going to be going back into my e.l.f. highlighter Moonlight Pearls, and I'm just going to be taking a little bit of the highlighter on my brush and putting that right in the inner corners right here, just to add a little bit of a pop and just a little bit of opening up my eye and stuff like that. And then I'm also just going to take the excess of that and put it under my brow bones. Moving on to eyelashes, and what I like to do first is curl my eyelashes using an eyelash curler. You can get them really cheap from lots of places. I can't remember where I got this one, but it was like $9 or something like that. It was pretty cheap and it works super well, and curling your eyelashes honestly makes such a difference for me, and I'm really glad that I started doing it because it just makes them more lifted and more full. So I'm just going to be doing this. Some mascara. Mascara is really nice for going to school because it just opens up your eyes and gives your face a little bit more dimension. So I have these 2 mascaras here that I use. I actually got them for Christmas and I'm loving them so far. They're my favourite I've ever tried. So they're both by Revlon. I think they came in a set, but I think you can buy them separately as well. The first one is the Volume and Length Magnified Mascara right here, and then this is the Ultimate All-in-One Mascara, this red one. And first I like to go in with the Volume and Length Magnified Mascara and just put this all over my top lashes, and I also like to coat my bottom lashes because I feel like it just opens up my eyes and brings out the colour in my eyes a bit more, and this is super natural. It just makes them longer rather than all thick and clumpy. So I'm just going to be taking this. Sorry guys, I'm looking in my mirror, just sort of blinking on the brush to get all the product. I know you guys probably can't see it on camera, but my eyelashes are looking amazing right now. I'm just going to do the bottom ones. Okay, now I've done the top and the bottom lashes with this blue mascara. I'm going to go in with this red one and I'm just going to do my top lashes. I feel like doing the bottom lashes really just opens up my eyes and just gives my face a bit more dimension, and I absolutely love the way it looks. This one has an absolutely tiny wand, so you guys can get really precisely in with your lashes. Okay, so now that I've done my eyelashes, the last step I'm going to be doing is just doing my lips. So what I like to do is, I got this Colourpop lip gloss for Christmas. It is absolutely amazing. It tastes like cupcakes and it's in the shade Paper Moon, and it's absolutely stunning. So what I like to do is just put this on my bottom lip, all over my bottom lip. It's sort of a bit peachy and it looks super natural, and then just spread it over to my top lip so that it's not too much on it and it looks really natural. finished back to school makeup routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel for more makeup videos like this. Comment down below any suggestions and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it.